Hi everyone. Today's lesson is going to replace the other lesson we should have done together in your book. I apologize that we couldn't get together. But today's lesson will take the place of the book lesson. You should have your guided notes worksheet in that packet that I gave you, where it says on the left, what if there are no common coefficients? I know we haven't used that packet very much, but it should be in there somewhere. So if you want to pause and find these guided notes, that would be great. And then come on back and we'll get started on this elimination method. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is write down what if there are no common coefficients. This is what we do. We multiply one of the equations to make common coefficients, then add or subtract to solve. Okay, so go ahead and pause if you need to and write that down. All right, let's go ahead and do number one first. Now, number one, what I notice right away is that my variables are lined up vertically like we normally would on using the elimination method, but none of the coefficients match or the exact opposites of each other. So I can't eliminate anything right away. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make an equivalent equation so that I can eliminate one of the variables. So for example, in the first equation, it's x minus 3y equals 2, and the second equation is 4x plus 7y equals 27. What I could do is I could look at my x's here. If I multiplied that first equation by 4, then I would have a common coefficient of 4 on both of those x terms. Okay, so as long as you multiply everything by 4, you keep your equation equivalent, and you're allowed to use that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Let me change my color out here. So I'm going to take this first equation and multiply everything by 4. Those are parentheses. So it's 4 times x, which is 4x, 4 times negative 3y, which is negative 12y, equals 4 times 2 is 8. Everything gets multiplied by 4. Now, write down the second equation exactly how you see it. And now what I can do is I can take these 4 x's, I can take these 4 x's, let me change that color out, and eliminate them, okay? And I'm going to eliminate those by subtracting. So 4x minus 4x, those cancel out. Now be careful with your subtraction. Negative 12 minus 7y would be negative 19y. And then 8 minus 27 is negative 19. Divide out the coefficient. Those cancel out, and you get y equals 1. Okay? So once we know the value of y, we can plug that into one of the original equations. It doesn't matter which one. I could do the first equation. I could do x minus 3 times 1 equals 2, which is x minus 3 plus 3, so x equals 5. So my final ordered pair would be 5, 1. And that would be my final equation. So all I had to do was make one of my equations equivalent by multiplying by 4 on every single term. Then I'm able to eliminate my x term. Okay, let's try it again. Let's drop down to number 3. All right, what do I have here? I'm going to erase that to get it out of the way. So I have 2x minus 5y equals 39, 4x minus 3y equals 43. So I'm looking at my x's, I'm looking at my y's. I can multiply that first line by 2 so that I can eliminate my x's and get that to a 4. And you know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. And then I'm going to have opposite signs. But you can multiply it by 2, or you can multiply it by negative 2. Either one is fine. So let me make my equivalent equation. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10y. And negative 2 times 39 is a negative 78. Now, just rewrite the second equation as is. Now, since I'm eliminating the x terms, one is negative, one is positive, those are opposites, I can add them together. So a negative 4 plus a positive 4 eliminates. 10 plus negative 3 is 7y. Negative 78 plus 43 is going to give me a negative 35. Divide by 7. Y equals negative 5. Okay, now that I know y, I can plug it back into one of the two original equations. I'm just going to do the second one. Doesn't really matter. So 4x minus 3 times y, which is negative 5, equals 43. 4x, negative 3 times negative 5 is a positive 15. And we solve from there. Let's see, 43 minus 15 is going to give me, 28. And divide by 4, x equals 7. Okay, so my ordered pair solution is 7, negative 5. And remember, you can plug those back in and check them to see if they work. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do number 5 on the back. Let's switch up colors here. And erase that. All right, so let's look at these two equations here. What can we eliminate? I'm looking at my y's right now, and I like how I could multiply that second equation by 5 or negative 5 to eliminate the y's. So I'm going to rewrite the first one. I'm not going to change that one yet. And I'm going to multiply everything in this second one. I'm going to do it by negative 5 because I like to add my equations together when they're opposite signs, but you could do it by a positive 5 as well. So the equivalent equation would now be negative 10x minus 5y, and 16 times 5, it's going to be a negative 80. Okay, I am eliminating these right here. Therefore, since they are opposite signs, I'm going to add. Negative 3 plus negative 10 is a negative 13x. Those eliminate. And we get a 4, a 104, negative 104. Divide by negative 13. Those cancel out. 104 divided by 13. Since both are negatives, it's going to give you a positive 8. Okay, now we just got to plug it in to find y. I'm going to use this second equation again. So 2 times 8 plus y, 16 plus y. Subtract that to the other side, and we get y equals 0. So our ordered pair is 8, 0, and that would be your final answer. All right, let's try a couple more. Let's do number 7. Okay, we need to eliminate one of the variables, so that means we want to find something that we can multiply by that will eliminate an x or a y. I'm looking at these two equations, and I'm really kind of zeroing in on these y's right here. Because 9 is a multiple of 3. I can take that first equation and multiply everything by 3, Again, I'm going to go negative on this one because I like to add my two equations together. I think it's easier. If I do it by -3, then I'll get a -9, and those will eliminate each other. So I'm going to rewrite my first equation by multiplying. Okay. And rewrite the second equation as is. And I'm going to eliminate those negative and positive 9y's by adding them together. Those will cancel each other out. -6 plus 5 is a -1x. -3 plus -2 is a -5. Got to get rid of that negative, so I'm going to divide out the -1. X equals +5. Now let's go plug that back in and get y. I think I'll do, it doesn't really matter. I think I'll do the first equation. 2 times x, 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3y equals 1, minus 10, 3y equals -9. Divide out that 3, and we get y equals -3. Ordered pair, 5, -3. Good. All right. Number 9, you have a couple of options here on number 9. If you look at them, they're multiples of each other, like the x's. You got a 2x on top and an x on bottom. You could multiply the bottom by -2 or +2. And then same with the y's there. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to multiply the bottom by -2, and I'm going to eliminate my x's. So I rewrite the top, multiply the bottom. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 2y, oops, is a -4y. And -2 times 15 is -30. Now, since these x's are opposites of each other, I'm going to add the two equations together and eliminate those. 4 plus -4 also eliminates. Interesting. All that goes away. All we have is 0 left on that side. 9 minus 30 is -21. So if you ask yourself, when does 0 ever equal 21? Well, never. It doesn't equal 21, so we put that line through it. That means this is a no solution. And if you remember, when we graph those, that a no solution gives you parallel lines on a graph. They never intersect. Okay, so that's a no solution on that one. All right, I want to back up for a second, and I want to have you guys do number 8 on your own. Okay, go ahead and do number 8. Decide which variable you would like to eliminate. You could actually do x or y on this one, but you need to pick. And pause it here, and then we'll check your answer. Okay, so whichever variable you got or you chose to eliminate, your answer should be -4, +4. Okay, so hopefully you got that. All right, very good. So that's today's lesson on elimination by multiplication. You're making one of the equations equivalent so that you can eliminate one of the variables. I'm going to have you guys do your homework problems. So your homework should be in that packet. It looks like this. Solving Systems by Elimination Day 2. I'm just going to have you guys do 1 through 6 on the front. Okay, 1 through 6. I think that'll be enough practice to get that down. So that will be your homework for tonight. That's due tomorrow. I'm also going to post an extra help video on Google Classroom if you would like just another way to see this being done. Okay? If you have any questions, email me anytime. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you soon. Bye.